recording, start streaming.
Awesome. We're live.
And we are live on YouTube and Twitch, hopefully.
This is going to be an Apple stream, seems like
yes,
today.
a lot of Apple topics.
Which is
we're live.
Fantastic, because I did not watch the Apple event. I meant to, and I never did.
Yeah, I totally watched it.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I did use an Apple device today, though. For 8 hours.
Good Lord.
Yep.
People are optimistic about the Apple Arcade. I see a lot of articles about how good it is. I got a lot of one reasons why it's not good.
Oh, it's great.
Apple TV. Apparently, it's
Apple TV Plus.
Apple TV Plus. I don't know the difference, but apparently the Plus has a really strong hold in the market. I see what they're doing, and it's pretty sneaky. I like it.
Yeah.
Password managers, not so safe. Shocking. I feel like
the bug got patched. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I feel like we just talked about how insecure these are, and then it got patched before we got to the topic. So it's all great.
Mm-hmm. Sounds cool, but haven't read about it.
Oh yeah, I hope you read
talk about that one.
I meant to read it, and then I got stuck with dinner.
Yeah, I don't think it's what you were thinking of.
Oh, okay.
But we'll talk about it.
Cool.
It has to do with AI.
Facebook gets caught being creepy. One good reason to have iPhone users, I guess, is that they get some weird notifications sometimes.
Esports athletes. We'll talk about it.
This was more like a lightning round type topic. I saw it and I was like, that's pretty funny.
We may be able to go more in depth on it.
Okay, cool. More Apple. Their iPad looks pretty good, actually.
And reasonably priced.
Which is weird because I was looking at buying an iPad soon.
Huh. I'll have to ask about that.
Yeah, definitely.
The iPhone 11 Pro is stronger than bread. Definitely a lightning topic.
Oh, you stuck that one in there.
Yes, I did one of the topics tonight.
Motorola Razr phone. Lenovo is putting in some really ugly folding phone patents that don't look like the 3D models Razr was putting out.
Electric bicycles, Microsoft Power Toys, Wi-Fi 6, and no more health insurance for some Whole Foods employees.
A small percentage of Whole Foods employees.
Yes, a small percentage. And, great Christmas gift ideas just in time for Christmas.
Yep.
A few months early. Give you time to order online and get them shipped. And employees sharing about their experience working at Google can now speak out.
While still being employed and wanting to keep their job?
In theory. Let's start it off from the top. The big thing this week was definitely Apple.
That Apple event.
Yep. So their Apple Arcade is going to be releasing later this month, I believe on the 19th.
This is over at Gizmodo.
Yes. It's going to be $5 a month. They will be releasing over 100 games that are exclusive to their Apple Arcade subscription service. One notable thing about this service is that there's going to be no microtransactions and no real world money to in-game money.
Yep.
So you can't buy in-game currencies.
So it is actually $5 a month, and it's not $5 a month to get access to the game.
Plus all the boosts and benefits and all that stuff.
Which I do really like that model.
Yes, I definitely like that as well.
This sounds like a great model to get consumers on there.
Yes.
I don't know how these businesses are going to stay in business. You would have to have a lot of consumers playing your game for it to make sense, I would think. One thing I'm curious on how they're splitting up the money.
That is a good question. And a similar question is kind of like how YouTube Red splits up their money.
Yeah.
The YouTube channels that get more views from YouTube Red subscribers make a bigger percentage of that money. So I'm curious if that's how they'll do it for this as well.
If it's times you open and close the app versus playtime versus what level your characters get.
Or how far you actually make it in the game.
Yeah, so I don't see this being successful in a long term.
Okay,
commitment.
this poor business model. I was actually thinking about the Apple TV Plus.
This is also a poor business model.
Yes.
On the other hand, games like Flappy Bird or those other like Temple Run, like those games that don't need that much programming, those simpler type style games.
Yeah.
That makes sense here. Those time wasting games.
Do I need to pull this out?
Is it tight?
Or does it pull it itself?
Pull it a little bit. Is it really tight?
Not terribly tight.
Cool. It's good then. Yeah,
We're running a 3D print, or Jacob's running a 3D print, so making sure it's got enough filament in there.
But yeah, one thing I don't even know where I was in that sentence, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
But some of the games were actually made available to some journalists the past week. 8 of the games. And supposedly they were pretty decent. But it'd really be a bummer if those were the only good games.
Yeah.
And the other
And the other ones are like
plus
Fruit Ninja
trash.
and that.
Yeah.
Those time wasting.
Fruit Ninja's fun. So we'll see how the games end up being. So here's the Apple TV Plus. And the only reason I differentiate it from the Apple TV is, at least according to my knowledge, the box, like a Chromecast or like a Fire Stick.
Okay.
Whereas the Amazon or the Apple TV Plus is the streaming service.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yep. So Apple is releasing another new item in addition to the arcade and all their hardware items, the Apple TV Plus, which is going to be a $5 video streaming service.
So now you can almost think that every Apple consumer is going to be giving them $10 a month. 5 for games, 5 for TV movies. Except for the one paragraph in this article here.
Yes. So if you buy a Mac, either a laptop or a desktop, an iPad, an iPhone, then you get 1 free year of the
TV Plus.
Apple TV Plus. So they're trying to get people hooked.
Yep.
And that way they continue their subscription.
And the thing is, I know people who buy the new iPhone year over year.
Yep.
And then that'd be free Apple TV.
And this will also be good numbers for Apple.
It'd be big.
It's another statistic to tout that, hey, we've got this many people on our streaming service.
One thing I'm curious is if the TV Plus it has a family option like Netflix does, where you can have 3 or 4 people. So instead of having to buy a new iPhone every year, you can get a new iPhone every 3 years. But then you alternate
for each member of the family.
So like, I get 11, they get 12, the next person gets 13, I'd get 14, and then rotate it.
Or if you buy an iPhone, then a MacBook, and then an iPad, and that'd be interesting. And for a little bit of context, they're saying that this could make Apple the second highest video streaming service out there. Maybe they're talking about paid video streaming service. So last year, Apple sold around 280 million units, different devices, whether it's desktops or MacBooks or iPhones. And in the article on, Forbes, they did some math and said about half the people would use this service, and there might be other people that would buy this service, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
They mathed it down to estimating that about 125 million people would subscribe to this per month, in comparison to Netflix, which has 150 million paid subs per month, and YouTube, which has, according to YouTube, 2 billion monthly users.
Okay. One thing I'd be really...
Now, YouTube is free.
Yeah.
But
curious
that's
with the...
an insane difference. I wonder how much YouTube Red subscriptions there are.
I can't imagine there's that too many. I would be curious on how well this sells for Christmas, for moving tech people moving their grandparents or parents over, because Apple is famous for the simplistic, easy to understand interface.
Yes.
Everything's big, beautiful icons. And I'm curious if we're going to see a bigger bump in Apple TVs with the holiday season coming around, where they can cut the $70 cable TV bill and then pay $5 a month.
Yeah. And then Apple's also putting money into getting exclusive content as well. It looks like, I think it said they put $6 billion toward
every mega corporation is going to also be a TV producing company.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Gotta have that exclusive content, though. So I feel like we had just talked about password managers and how much I dislike them.
We did.
It's almost like I hunted down this article.
Did you?
Surprisingly not. So this one came from Digital Trends. I think it was posted somewhere else first, but Wall Street Journal or something kept throwing ads everywhere, so found on Digital Trends.
Gotcha.
LastPass had a little bit of a accident, and looks like people are able to get back into your LastPass account by showing the most recent password.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly how they did it, but something about if you were on a website and then you went to a Google service or something like Google Translate, they could access your most recently used password or the password from the previous website.
Which is super weird.
Yes.
But on the good news,
they fixed it.
They've already fixed it. So still change your password manager's password to be safe. And then deactivate your account.
And then get a sticker.
Yep. Put a little sticky note right on the top of your laptop screen.
Yep.
And that's how you keep security. So this super cool article that I meant to read and then I decided to eat dinner. Looks like you read it because there's notes.
Talk about it. I'm just kidding.
You want me to talk about it?
Is it no? Is it what you thought it was going to be about? So this
is it worth talking about? Not really.
It's kind of interesting. The title of this article, it's from Wired, is Artificial Intelligence Confronts a Reproducibility Crisis. And I guess it's not really that interesting. Basically, the article is very wordy. I didn't even read the whole thing.
So this is over at The Wired?
Yes.
It's not our lovely Verge friends?
That game is Go. Have you ever played Go?
I have.
I've actually wanted to play Go just once, not actually learn it and get good at it. Yeah. But it's talked about everywhere that AI is talked about.
It's a very wordy article, so
yeah,
must not be that interesting.
I'll go over my brief bullet points, but essentially the article talks about how machine learning systems are black boxes. So the stuff in there is kind of unknown, like we just call it the algorithm, you know?
Yeah.
And nobody really understands
because it's a machine
what they're talking about.
The code.
But it's saying even the developers don't always know what's going on because they don't properly document their work. So it's hard to kind of reproduce what situations they get in. And if they successfully solve a problem, if they don't have the documentation and the steps that they took to solve the solution written down, then people in the future can't also solve the same problem. Does that kind of make sense?
That does make sense.
So there's a professor at McGill, Joël Pineux, probably pronounced that wrong, who is kind of coming up with some standards for research and how you should share information about machine learning and artificial intelligence so that things can be reproduced easier and just helps with collaboration.
So I unfortunately can't find it, but there's one YouTuber who talked about how instead of writing how a human should write AI, humans should write an AI to make AI. And so we won't understand how the actual AI works, but we'll be able to control the AI's controller.
Okay.
I wanted to say it was like CGP Grey or something, but I can't find it right now.
Yeah, Joe Rogan recently did a podcast with a guy who's big into AI. I watched it. It was kind of interesting.
I love watching Code Bullet.
Yeah, Code Bullet's pretty good.
But he puts a lot of dark humor into his videos, so it's one of those.
Yeah.
You have to like dark humor and coding to like him.
Speaking of dark humor.
I don't know how this is funny.
Facebook gets caught. I guess just dark.
Yeah.
Facebook gets caught being, creepy with iOS users?
Creepy with everybody, I believe, but iOS was the screenshot here.
Gotcha.
So apparently, from my understanding, is that Facebook Mobile is asking for Bluetooth access, and it's finding other Bluetooth devices near yours, and it's a way to find like, oh, my phone found your phone.
So it's like
we were next to each other.
Mapping social circles and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
So I guess one thing this would be really cool for, here's that iPhone picture there,
yes.
is that we could be in the same building, but we could not be talking. We could be on other sides of a gymnasium or something.
Yeah.
And so we could find out that, like, hey, Jesse and I like talking to each other because we're within 30 feet. I mean, we're within Bluetooth pairing distance.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people don't like their Bluetooth magically being turned on
Yes.
and draining their battery.
Yes.
But, yeah, I saw that. I almost leave my Bluetooth off 24/7.
Yeah. Because it
turn
does drain battery.
Yeah. And I even go as far as when I get into the car is I turn off my Wi-Fi.
Oh.
And I get
That
like,
also drains battery.
yeah, I get like 2 days out of my phone battery.
But why? You can just recharge it.
I have to plug it in. It's
Yeah.
charge cycles. Your battery has only charge cycles. I can
Probably.
squeeze out a couple more years. Yeah, so Facebook asks for Bluetooth access. Just say no. Don't accept candy from strangers.
Deny them.
So I saw this. I had to put it in there. I'm not sure if
Okay.
it's even worth talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have anything to say about it. But apparently a Hearthstone Grandmaster, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Sorry, dude. Lost a Grandmaster game while trying to also play auto chess, which is just a chess game, I believe.
Have you ever played auto chess?
I never even heard of it.
I've heard of auto chess, but I've never played it. I've never really understood what it is. I think it's different than regular chess. I looked it up briefly, and it said something about Dota. Have you played Dota?
No.
Have you heard of Dota?
I've heard of it.
Dota's
Never
kind of like League of Legends. Have you played League of Legends?
Oh, wow.
I haven't played any of these
It looks
games.
nothing like chess.
Yeah. Can you share it?
Yeah. Auto chess. I was expecting like chess.
Yeah.
Well, this doesn't tell us.
And we are back after some technical difficulties.
I want to say there are difficulties. It was more like a,
Train wreck.
train wreck.
Oh. Something else just crashed. Oh, duh. I'm clicking the wrong button. Hold on. Now we're all live. Start recording. Start streaming. We are still experiencing significant technical difficulties. But I think we are about to be live again. Are you live?
Kind of, yeah.
All right.
Cool. Twitch is live. YouTube is a spinning. We'll see if it jumps up here in a second.
Sweet. It's red, but we're live. Where were we? Oh yes, the iPad. $329, and you can also buy an additional keyboard for another $160.
If you want to buy,
Which for Apple's not bad.
yeah, it's a lot cheaper than our iPad stand, going at $9.99. No stand this time. But yeah, I really like that price point.
Is that why you're interested in buying
I'm still
an
not going to
iPad?
buy a new iPad. It's ridiculous when you can buy a used one for like $100.
Okay, gotcha.
I was looking at one for audio mixing.
Gotcha.
It works really well with the software. The
Okay.
iOS app is really well done.
Gotcha.
That's the only reason I want one.
For their exclusive app?
Yep.
You're going to get the arcade for their exclusive
Yeah.
games?
Man, if it gets rid of the ads, I'll take it.
Ooh, so I guess if you get a used one, you won't get the Apple TV Plus.
What a shame.
What a shame. You could spend an extra $300 and
You
get that
get the-
$5 free
5
service.
times 12?
Yeah.
We're not even going to do that.
$60.
Yeah, okay, cool. Like, we're not doing that math on stream.
And the iPhone 11 Pro. All right, great. The stream is green. That's a good sign. The iPhone 11 Pro is stronger than bread. So pull up the ad, and then in this GIF up top, if you scroll down and watch it, eventually you'll see a large, there you go, a large piece of bread just come in and smash into the iPhone. I don't know. I just thought that was hilarious.
I was trying to figure out what you meant by stronger than bread.
Why? What? Why? What is this proving? I don't get it.
I like how they're throwing ice onto the back of it, and it's a glass back, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, is it supposed to be waterproof? Is it supposed to be food proof? I don't get it.
Toddler proof.
But it's
apparently.
hilarious. Anyway, that's all I had to talk about that. Apparently there's a wedding cake at some point, but I think that's a different video. Which, by the way, a wedding cake is probably more expensive than the iPhone. But
In the bread.
yes, definitely more expensive than the bread. In other mobile phone news, the Motorola Razr 2020 may be a bifolding clamshell. So you'd actually talked about maybe wanting to get a Razr in the future.
If they weren't $1,500 or $1,800 or $47,000, I would really want one.
So this new Razr phone may end up being foldable in two areas. So as you see in the image there, there's two kind of, looks like corrugated
Looks like what?
flexible
straw,
sections.
like a
Yeah, it
plastic
looks like a straw.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll hold its shape too when you bend it.
So then you can tilt it upwards so you can have it lay on your stomach when you're going to bed. And
Yeah, totally.
watch YouTube, watch the stream. We'll put you to sleep. So I don't like this design as nearly
weird.
as much as I like this Razr phone design here.
Okay.
Because so those patents were from Lenovo, which is the parent company, I believe, of Motorola. And Motorola is building this Razr phone here.
Yeah, and that image you're looking at right now in the top left-hand corner, it looks like it folds in a much smaller place
Yes.
rather than the other image, which looks like a pretty big
Has a much larger
area.
folding area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw this on one of the articles and on. So here's a side fold picture here, and
Yeah.
it's weird that it doesn't sit flat. So I would be afraid to sit on
That
this.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because if you put that in your pocket and you sit down,
So I actually put everything in my front pockets, and the only thing that goes in the back pocket is my phone, because it's thin enough I can sit on it.
yeah,
I don't want to sit on my keys.
but this is significantly cheaper than the Samsung Fold or the Mate X,
Huawei.
which are going to be about $500 or $1,000 more expensive. So if you're looking for a budget folding
budget
phone,
phone.
a budget expensive phone, you can go for it.
I wonder if this would take off with the people who like the lanyards on their keys to hang out their pocket, to have half their folding phone to hang out their pocket, so they can access it quickly.
Yeah. No, just so they can look cool.
Yeah.
That's why they do it. The big chain on the wallet.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Speaking of wallets, that brings us right into our sponsor
spots.
section. This video is sponsored by J-Mart Media
And Nephew Tech.
and Nephew Tech.
This guy. Keep them wallets out. So our next topic is pretty pricey.
Yes, quite pricey indeed. Trek's new lineup of electric city bikes is gorgeous, speedy, and, you guessed it, expensive.
Relatively. Price range of
Well,
$3,600 to $6,000.
Not even relatively expensive, just expensive.
Well, if you're going to go car shopping and like, I want to pick up a bike instead. They look real cheap.
I mean, if you're looking at a new car.
That's very true.
If you're looking at a used car, it's
Still expensive.
about what you're looking to spend for a used car.
So I really like the look of these bikes.
And they do look really nice. So these are designed for, it looks like kind of commuters. It's almost a crossover of a mountain bike because it's got the thicker tires and a road bike, which is generally what they build for commuters, because the tires need to be a little bit wider so they can handle like sidewalks and bumps and that kind of thing.
These almost look like replacements for the city scooters.
They do.
So instead of having a city scooter, you can have one of these.
They do. Except these are probably a lot more expensive than the city scooters.
And they probably don't wear as nicely.
Yeah.
It's probably worse overall in every way.
But Trek is a big name in the mountain biking and, I don't know, maybe street biking as well. So it's a reputable company.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're releasing 10 different e-bikes ranging in price from $3,600 to $6,000. I didn't see any mention of range on there, but apparently they can go anywhere from 20 to 28 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I would guess they can probably go a little bit faster downhill, depending on how fast you pedal. I mean, it's a bike, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised not to see any kind of range on there.
625 watt battery fits inside of the frame. So if you can convert watts to feet, let us know.
Yeah. And of course, with it being electric powered, it is kind of heavy, about 50 pounds. Microsoft Power Toys.
Power
Is
Toys.
it Power Toys or Power Tools? Microsoft Power Toys.
So there's no way you can't love the idea of this.
Over
at The Verge, Microsoft's first Power Toys for Windows 10, now available for download. This logo is something to fall in love with. Apple, a couple weeks ago, was like, look at our super old floppy logo. Windows pulls out 8-bit retro. So, they show a couple Power Toys. Power Toys. And my favorite is the one in this. The video is a tutorial. It's not as good. But screen partitioning is essentially what it is. So it's a built-in to Windows 10, so it's not going to be any third-party weirdness going on. But you can split your screen up how you want it. So we can actually go back to this here. So like if you want to have one thing on one side of your screen, and it might actually be easier this way. No, it won't. If you want one document on one side and then another document on the other, with Windows 10, it's just easy to drag it to each side.
Yeah.
But then for the people who use 4K screens as a daily driver, side to side still isn't enough splitting. I use a 55-inch 4K TV. So
It's like this big.
Yeah, it's huge. And so I would like to have it, so if I bring a window to the center, it would snap it to a 1080p size, a 1920 by 1080p into the center, a little bit down.
Yeah.
Because it centers a little bit high for me.
Yeah.
And with these Power Toys, it's finally built into Windows 10.
Did you watch the video? I didn't watch the video, but I'm wondering if there's going to be a keybind you can hit to just
Snap it there.
pop all your windows to where you want them to be.
They didn't show that in the video.
Because that would be super awesome.
I'm curious if you could do that with a macro keybinder, though.
Probably so, yeah.
And have it open up some little text back file.
Yeah, because I definitely use the Windows key and arrow keys to move my different windows around. Even now, I have two separate windows, one for reading articles and one for looking at Google Docs.
Yeah. And then over in my room, I do a 3-screen setup.
Okay.
I often don't use two of them the majority of the time. I just use the center one.
Yeah.
And something always opens on the one that's turned off because it's DisplayPort. So even though it's off, it's still on.
Yeah.
And so I have to use Windows and left key, and it snaps it over for me
Yeah,
so I can find it again. But yeah, with this, it would be really cool to have it memorized.
And then they're also going to be releasing the Windows key shortcut guide that is some kind of overlay with shortcuts for each window or app. So if you press down the Windows key, it will somehow show you the different shortcuts you can use to make your life easier.
Now,
which is pretty cool.
Could have sworn, I'm going to see if I can make it pop up again, that Windows Paint did this. And I don't remember how I made it. There it goes.
Oh, interesting.
And I have no idea how I make it do this. You just slap keys around.
Yeah. I think I have seen
Alt.
that before.
But
Alt?
yeah, if you open up Paint and hit Alt,
Okay.
it gives you these little shortcut things. I've only ever noticed it in Paint, and it's super uncomfortable feeling every time I hit Alt instead of Windows. Because I use Paint a lot for quick cropping of anything.
Screenshots and stuff.
But yeah, I've noticed it in Paint for a while.
It happens in Microsoft Word as well.
Okay. So I guess they're just making it more pronounced as a power toy now.
And maybe supporting other apps
Than
in addition to
two so
Microsoft.
far.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool if it supports just all apps. Just that's how Microsoft works. Or not
Just
Microsoft.
magically.
Yeah,
Windows, yeah.
Because I mean, Windows knows what the shortcut's going to do. It's not.
No,
like,
it doesn't.
So if you don't think it knows that if you hit,
Not until you press it. Because it's all built into the program.
you don't think there's a way to load it up when the program loads up? It'll make every program start a little bit slower. I wonder if it'll get too confusing, or if it's just for Windows keys. I haven't looked too much into it.
But it looks like they're also going to be releasing tools for other developers to make their own power toys. So we'll see what else people make.
It'd be cool. Continuing on with The Verge.
Speaking of new things that people make.
Faster Wi-Fi.
Yep, which has actually been made a long time ago.
And it's just being labeled now.
Yes.
Same Wi-Fi, new label. Which is nice. So if you're shopping for new Wi-Fi, new router, trying to upgrade, you're going to look for that Wi-Fi 6 sticker. I'm trying to find that sticker. We're going to pop over. But if it says Wi-Fi 6, chances are it's not a super old, crappy router.
Yes, and it looks like the new iPhones will support the Wi-Fi 6 as... I mean, I would kind of hope so since they're just coming out now. And the speed has increased from 3.5 gigabits per second to 9.6 gigabits per second, which is actually super fast. I didn't realize Wi-Fi was that fast.
So you're going to be looking for one of those logos. Wi-Fi and the number 6 added on. There's a transparent version. That's what you're looking for. So it says Wi-Fi 6, chances are it's in the latest generation. It's going to cover all your devices. Yeah, so Wi-Fi's freaky fast. Still not going to use it if I have the choice of Ethernet.
Yeah.
There's so many problems with Wi-Fi. So one thing I am looking at doing is still upgrading the house Wi-Fi and
Okay.
using my current house Wi-Fi as the smart home Wi-Fi.
Ah, so you'll just take the router offline.
I need a second Wi-Fi loop anyways. So it's, do I buy nicer Wi-Fi and upgrade everything, or do I buy cheap crapo Wi-Fi and just pray the smart home works on it?
Yeah.
So it's definitely in the back of my mind, looking for those Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals coming up in a month. That's all I got about Wi-Fi 6. We got Whole Foods.
Yep.
Amazon owns Whole Foods now.
Yes.
And they are cutting medical benefits for their part-time workers or employees, depending on how you want to look at.
Yes. Which The Verge does not like at all. As I was reading this article, it was pretty evident to me that the writer of this article, at least, does not like the fact that Whole Foods is cutting the medical benefits.
And it has
for
nothing
its
to do with
part-time
this
workers.
giant set right here. The CEO
What does
of
that say?
The CEO of Whole Foods parent company, Amazon, is the world's richest person.
Yes, it does have something to do with that. So Jeff Bezos is, according to The Verge, the world's richest person, and I would say that I believe that, although I haven't done my own research. Hey, there's a lot of people up there who are pretty rich.
Not
Like,
not
what's
near
his
him.
name?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, yeah. And Amazon is the third, what did it say? Like the third richest company
That makes about
behind Apple and
Google, maybe.
Google, maybe? Probably Google.
Microsoft.
Microsoft, duh.
I just searched.
Speaking of Bill Gates.
Yeah. So, one of the paragraphs that got me real well is Whole Food claims that the percentage of its workforce that'll be affected by this cost-cutting measure and therefore no longer eligible to purchase employer-provided health care is less than 2%. And in parentheses, that equates to nearly 2,000 people, which doesn't sound like a lot of people to me.
Yes, and it's only affecting people who work less than 30 hours a week, which I think you would have a hard time finding companies that do provide health care for part-time employees.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought
yeah,
benefits were more for full-time employees to begin with.
I would agree with that.
I can understand some benefits for part-time employees are like, oh, free meals or something. But those are...
Which actually, it is
off-ball
mentioned
cases.
here, like 20% discount on groceries, actually.
Which is a huge discount on groceries.
Yeah. And according to a Whole Foods spokesperson, we are providing team members with resources to find alternative healthcare coverage options or to explore full-time healthcare eligible positions starting at 30 hours per week. So they're saying, hey, work more hours and get on the full-time staff and
yeah, I like how
you'll be eligible.
Also in the article, one affected employee who's worked for Whole Foods for 15 years told BI, which I believe is...
Probably Business Insider?
Sure. I have no idea, but
yep,
BI...
Business Insider.
They were in shock as the company's benefit options were why they held on to the job. So quit.
Yeah.
If the reason you stayed is because they had...
If the reason
benefits.
you stayed for 15 years as a part-time employee is because of the benefits...
Must have been really good benefits.
Yeah. Or you should get a full-time job. But
I mean, some people might not be able to work full-time, which makes sense.
Yep.
But to work 30 hours a week, I have a hard time not understanding that one. And I wonder if there's use cases. I wonder how much managers or the store owners have a say in it. So for people who do have some type of physical disability where they can't stand 30 hours a week.
If there's some kind of disclaimer in there. I would think in that case, the government's probably
already helping them out.
Already helping them out, yeah. But not speaking from experience, so.
Yeah, for it to only be affecting 2,000, this article is a bit harsh in my opinion, but
yes, I agree.
2,000 people are still 2,000 important people. 2,000 people that aren't important, though, work over at Google.
Yes.
So this one was definitely on that Wall Street Journal website, which is a garbage website if you want to read anything without ads.
Even if you have ad block, because they block you.
They block the entire website, say you can't use us until you turn off ad block. So instead, we are over on thetelegraph.co.uk. U.S. government orders Google to let employees speak out after months of employee activism. So we actually talked about this a couple months ago when it all was happening.
Yes.
And the bosses, managers, the people who are in charge of employees were tired of employees not working, essentially. That's how I see it. But so I think this is a little bit different because this looks more like employees wanting to talk about their work experience or what it's like working in in Google.
Yeah.
Versus what was the problem before where they were talking about opinionated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this seems more on the factual side from the article.
I think that it's still kind of, it looks like employees who have a problem with Google's opinion on political stances.
Then don't work for someone you don't agree with. I mean, I don't know what to say there. If you don't agree with what your company's doing, don't help them do it. Just quit. Walk away.
I think someone had spoken out recently and got fired, although it wasn't for
I hear Whole Foods
speaking
is
out.
hiring full-time positions.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, if it's that case where they're not agreeing with YouTube as a company, then they can just...
That's what I got from reading the article, but
Okay.
it was kind of
Very vague.
all over the place, yeah.
Yeah, just keep your opinions to yourself. Work, get paycheck, go home.
Google's paying out 500 million euros, it looks like, so that's nice.
So drop in the bucket. Back to green box.
Back to our friends over at The Verge, we have a great Christmas gift idea for you. If anyone remembers the pop sockets, which were the things that go on the back of your phone.
I thought you were about to show the one on your phone.
No, I don't have one on
I
my
was about
phone.
to
I
rip
have
it
one at
off.
home, though.
I was going to rip it off.
They're the things that go on the back of your phone to make it more ergonomic and nice to hold your phone. And you can also use it to prop up your phone on your desk to watch YouTube videos that you don't agree with.
If only I had a hand to hold my phone on my desk.
What if you're eating a bowl of cereal?
If only I had a mouse to go behind. Why do I not have stuff on my desk to prop up my phone with?
Also, it allows you to spin your phone around on the desk like a fidget spinner.
Good Lord, we're going to skip this topic here in a second. Spoiled it.
Yeah. So they're coming out with some kind of
Koozie.
beer koozie with a pop socket on it or something like that. Or a coffee koozie. Frappuccino koozie with a pop socket on it.
What a waste of time.
Both sizes cost $15. They go on sale starting yesterday. Have you got one yet? I know what my Christmas present for you is going to be.
I swear.
That one with flowers.
Man, I want that camo one. I want to hide my drink.
I'll lose my drink enough.
Yeah. Oh.
And that brings us to our final segment of the evening.
Best part of the segment.
Me's.
Oh, you first, me first. Mine's short and not as funny.
Yours
All right,
first.
cool.
I've also got my meme for next week already.
Oh, we're in Zoom.
That's pretty good. So it's a what is that? Oh,
It's a NVMe
what the heck?
SSD.
I think they screwed it in a little too far there.
So this part on top here
Yeah.
is the bottom brace. There's supposed to be a screw that goes in the top here. So you put this part in first, then you put
Oh,
the
so it's like a
card in.
standoff.
Yeah, it's a standoff. What's funny about this is I've seen it in my store twice.
The standoff like that, or
Yeah.
someone brought it in like that.
Someone's brought it in like this. And I
Wow.
would
So
take
that's
it-
actually a common issue.
So it's common enough I've seen it twice. Like NVMe are still really new style drives. They're still really expensive for what they are. And
and then of course there's the bar on there.
yeah,
That's,
and then
yeah.
it's the bar to show you how full your storage is.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I saw this. I was like, I've seen that before.
Those 5 pins on the right, are those something that's under the NVMe drive, or is that just like a header pins for
That's probably
USB
header
or something?
pins.
Okay. Wow, that's kind of funny, like almost a design flaw there.
Yeah, because
That
the
people
reason
would do
they
that.
take this part out, the standoff,
Yeah.
is because you can buy shorter NVMe cards and you can see the screw hole right there.
Oh, okay, so they have different links.
And so, yeah, on the motherboard,
Gotcha.
I believe there's 3. There might just be 2.
Okay.
But yeah, you
Wow,
can buy
that's hilarious.
different length cards for what you're using that M.2 slot for. And so,
But you'd think that people would notice, like, this doesn't look right.
one of the best things is whenever I do a computer build that has NVMe, they usually put the screw and the standoff in 2 separate baggies. Like, I don't think I've ever seen them bagged
Okay.
together. Because the screw, we're talking like an iPhone screw. These things are
Tiny.
micro. That's not like a laptop screw or something bigger to hold plastic together. It's the world's smallest aluminum screw.
I don't even remember what my meme was. Oh, yeah. I love it.
Drag and drop tools are just simpler. That's a fact. That's why I'm working on a drag and drop alternative to Microsoft Word. To get started, just open up the dictionary panel, Find the word you like and drag it onto the document. Oh, that's aggravating.
Yep. Be careful when you speak in absolutes. Drag and drop tools are not always simpler.
Have you seen the world's worst volume control sliders? That's what this reminds me of.
No, but I have seen other stuff.
So, like this one here, you rock it to change your volume. And then this one, you hold down the mouse button, and it loads it up, and it shoots your volume over.
Oh.
And here's
it's like
one where you
charging
just
it up.
pick a decimal. And
Wow.
like there's a change, so you just change your volume until you
So
get
it just randomly changes it? What's that, like a Flappy Birds?
what's that ice game?
Oh, curling.
Curling, yeah. You can curl it. Random dice rolling. And then we have set your volume to adjust with your latitude to increase your volume, change your latitude.
Walk
position.
south!
But I always love these. Every time I see this whole strip on the internet, it always gets me.
Let me send you something here. I'll post it all the way at the top. So I have not seen the volume control, or I don't remember seeing the volume control, but there's another image that definitely that reminded me of.
Oh, God.
Select your phone number.
And it's just a big old scrolly list. That's pretty good.
Yeah. There's a whole kind of theme of these memes over at r/programmer humor.
That's probably where you hang out a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh. Hold on. Here's an article with a multiple. There you go. Doesn't look like a very reputable website, but it
We're
should
on
work.
Quartz something. Programmers imagine the most ridiculous ways to enter a phone number into a form. So that's the drop-down menu one we just saw.
Yep.
Hey, it's only a 10-digit phone number.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Just keep hitting plus for a long time.
Stop. Play some lottery phone.
Yeah.
That's how scammers work, I bet.
Yeah. Probably.
Randomize their phone number.
Might as well.
I like this one. This one changes based on your mouse position.
Yeah. Good luck.
And then you have to go and hit the OK box, right? Like,
Yeah, right. Some of them it doesn't look like loaded. Oh, maybe they loaded for you.
Please enter your phone number. A slider.
A slider. Imagine the precision on a 1080p display.
I'm thinking a phone screen. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Click here to generate a phone number. Click here to dial the generate to number to check if it's your number. Your phone number is, and that's a phone number. If this isn't your number, please contact your carrier to change your number to this one.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, so there's a whole kind of, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah. Bad programming UI.
Yeah.
Like taking the space out of URLs automatically. Sling Studio. That's pretty much
Alright.
it. I mean, we made it an hour. 4 streams, 1 hour. We did it.
Yeah. If you're still here with us,
I don't know how.
thanks.
Thank you.
You're our biggest fans. Have a good night, and we will tech about you later.
We're going to talk about tech topics. We're not talking about you.